Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name is Dalton.
RJ.
Today we're going to be talking about the Alabama-Georgia game. You know, if I had to give this game a rating, 1 out of 10, I'm giving it a 9.5. Great ups and downs. You saw a dominant, first couple drives from Alabama. You saw a time in the game where you thought Kirby Smart's made adjustments. Oh, no, we're in trouble. We may lose this game. Start off at the start of the game, you go up 14-0, RJ. What are you thinking at that moment? I mean, if you're a Georgia fan, how do you feel about that?
Well, Georgia was kind of screwed. Going down 14-0 at your home field. I mean, that's kind of hard to come back to. And I felt like Georgia would come back, but not win the game. It would have been like last year. Bama was still took the dub.
Just talking about, I guess, as far as Bama, right? They come out, they get a statement drive to start the game. Ty Simpson looks on fire. He makes one bad throw that was not picked off. Got kind of bailed out with that one. But the kid was aggressive with the football. He was just about perfect. I mean, he did everything he needed to do. It was really, really impressive the way he performed. And the Alabama receiving corps made a lot of plays to get open too. We knew going into this game that Georgia's struggle on defense was the secondary. And you saw in this game that Alabama does not have to have the running game being explosive, which they have not been explosive all year. So you kind of already knew that. But Alabama does not have to have the running game being explosive to win big games.
Yeah, but hats off to your offensive line, man. They gave Ty Simpson plenty of time to throw that ball. I mean, Ty Simpson picked Georgia apart with how much time he had back there. So hats off to y'all's offensive line. The offensive line for y'all was the key to this game right here.
Yeah, speaking about that, Georgia gets, I want to say it was one sack on the game. And now they had a couple pressures. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are going to say the problem for Georgia was pressure. You can't get pressure on somebody who's taking three steps, one hitch, and throwing. I mean, if the kid's playing at that high of a level, it's hard. I mean, there was a lot of NFL throws that Ty Simpson made on Saturday. That's like, oh no, Bama's got him one. This may be bad for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You saw an Alabama team that's on fire. But let's take it back to last year. See the same thing. And then you go and get beat at Vandy. So let's calm down. Let's get a little humble. But, man, did the offense look great in that first half?
Yeah,
right?
I agree. The only thing about y'all's offense is the run game. The run game came alive a little bit during the game, but I don't believe it's still there yet.
I don't even know if you'd say the run game came alive. I think whenever you have possession of the ball for 35 minutes in a football game, you're going to get 130 rushing yards. There was a couple times where we got some gashes. Don't get me wrong. But still, if you have the ball for 35 minutes, you're bound and determined to get at least 100 rushing yards.
Yeah.
There was a lot of 2-3 yard. It was enough to keep Georgia honest, and you knew this front seven for Georgia was strong. You knew that you probably weren't. You haven't been able to run the ball all year. You're probably not going to be able to run it against them. This isn't a game where you're going to start just miraculously being able to run for 300 yards on the ground. But it's okay. It really is because you got your 120 and you won.
I got the dub. That's all that matters.
But in the future, you would like to see that running game be a little bit better. And you got Jam Miller back for his first game. You got to keep that in mind. He's still getting broken into the season. This is his first game, week 5. Sorry. So, another thing that was impressive to me, one false start penalty on the game.
Yeah, that's amazing to have. Couldn't be Auburn.
Yeah. You go back to last year. All right, let's say Vanderbilt. I mean, what was it, 11 penalties, and like 7 of them were false starts. Usually this Alabama offense has had problems operating on the road because of the fact that you're checking the sidelines. You're calling off plays. You're trying to make audibles on the field based off what the defense has given you. But it looked like they were at practice on Saturday. I mean, Ty Simpson was walking up to the line. He was changing the blocking schemes. He was changing whatever he needed to change at the time on the field with what seemed like no problem.
Yeah, Bama looked very calm on offensive wise. Very calm.
Very impressive
and
performance.
Also, hats off to Ryan Grubb with that play call to end the game. That was an amazing play call by Ryan Grubb.
So we'll talk about that. The play calling for Ryan Grubb in this game was amazing. Kalen Deboer and Ryan Grubb had a scheme going in this game that just worked out beautifully. Ty Simpson commanded the offense, but We talked about the first half. Georgia comes back in the second quarter and scores a couple points. You have both teams drop a long pass for a touchdown. Kind of a weird game in that sense that you felt like there was going to be maybe some more longer plays made.
Yeah.
And you had two sitting on the table that were lost. Ryan Williams, I would say an uncharacteristic drop from him, but this year seems like that's been a problem.
Yeah, I feel like social media killed Ryan Williams, man.
I think he's in his head. I think it's more of a mental block than anything, and hopefully he can get over that because the kid's got the talent. He's got the skill.
So, I mean, if he catches the ball, I mean, he can do whatever he wants in the open field, but he got to catch the ball first. So,
and we'll stay on the topic of offense, right? For Alabama for the time being, we'll go through the whole game with the offense. 13 for 19 on third downs.
That's amazing too.
I mean, what is there to say about that? Ty Simpson turned into Tom Brady on third down. I mean, it was ridiculous. The kid made plays. And you get 25 first downs in the game. Georgia, they get hot later in the game and they start moving the ball, but they still went 2 for 8.
Yeah.
Well, let's say this, right? You go through the game, you get into the third quarter, Georgia's starting to kind of mount a comeback because in that third quarter, you really felt like, oh no, Georgia's coming. They went into halftime. Kirby Smart does what Kirby Smart does best, and he makes adjustments. And oh no, here come the Bulldogs,
Yeah.
What was impressive to me, Alabama didn't score a single point in the third and fourth quarter and still managed to win this game. Granted, Georgia only scored 7 in the second half, but you felt like they kind of started taking back a little bit of control in the third quarter.
Yeah, I feel like Mike Bobo did a horrible job play calling, honestly. So, do I think Georgia could have won the game? Yes. But Bama played good enough to win the game. And I feel like Mike Bobo will be fired after this year, to me.
A lot of people are calling for Mike Bobo's job. I feel like the game plan wasn't great for Bama. I feel like you could definitely left some explosive plays on the table. But I feel like a lot of it is probably execution as well. I'd have to go back and watch the all 22 on it and see. But I don't think Mike Bobo is a terrible play caller by any means. But I think there was some stuff left on the table. Talking about Alabama's offense, just to kind of wrap it up, Ty Simpson, 24 for 38, 2 touchdowns. Is Ty Simpson in your Heisman running right now, RJ? Like, how are you feeling about Ty Simpson at this point?
He proved me wrong after this game. I tell you that. I wasn't very high on him, but after seeing him play these past 3 games, 4 games, 3 games, right? After seeing him play this past 3 games, I mean, he's in the top 3 for sure. So if he keeps on playing like that all season, he could win the Heisman. So.
Yeah, you take the FSU game out of the equation. Say they even scrape by with a win because Ty Simpson did nothing in that game to lose them the game. Let's get that straight. Ty Simpson in the FSU game maybe didn't do enough to win the game for him, but he dang sure didn't lose the game for him.
Right.
But you throw all that aside, throw the FSU game aside. Ty Simpson is that guy. With John Mateer being hurt, he is that guy. You got Fernando. I know he's really good, but the way Ty Simpson is the hottest quarterback in college football currently.
Bama just plays a lot different with Georgia, man. So I don't know what y'all got against Georgia.
We'll talk about that. Dude. Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe later on in the podcast as far as what the problem is for Georgia against Bama. But we'll start here. We'll move to the defensive side of the ball for Alabama, offensive side of the ball for Georgia. What did you see for Alabama? Because we can talk about how they get gashed, right? There were some plays that you felt like Georgia kind of got their 20, 30-yard runs or they got their long passes. But at the end of the day, Georgia only scored 21. They only scored 7 in the second half. So Alabama's defense did enough to hold them. So if you're being nitpicky, what is your opinion on that? Like, what did you see from Georgia or from Alabama that was a problem on defense?
Stopping the run, linebackers and safeties being flat-footed, not stopping the run. I mean, if I was Mike Bobo, I would have kept on running the ball and ran the ball, because Bama couldn't stop it. I mean, Georgia had 227 rushing yards. Here's running the ball.
Here's the issue with that, right? as much as they wanted to run the ball, you take that ability away whenever you go down 14. Especially because Alabama's putting together 7-minute drives, right? So while I do agree with you that Georgia's rushing game was very, very good in this game, it's hard to establish a good running game whenever the Alabama's offense is converting on third down how they were, because there's not that much time on the clock. You know what I'm saying? You'll run yourself out of the game if you're not getting gashes. If you're not getting 30-yard pickups. So,
but even though Alabama was getting gassed by the running game, they made the stops that needed to be stopped at the right time.
yeah.
So hats off to Bama's defense, but Kane Runback needs to do something with the run. Do something better against the run. So
you saw when Alabama went in a double mug, and which has been a big talking point in sports media for the past couple of weeks now, is when Alabama goes in a double mug, they get gashed, right? And we'll talk about that, but we'll also say that the double move on Damani Jackson, you're up 14. Why is there no safety help on the 40-yard line? Why aren't we? And Kane Womack, was visibly saying like, "Oh, that's on me, whenever everybody's coming back to the sideline. But like, man, that's a hard one to let go. That's a hard one to let go.
Why would you make that play call there?
Yep, and there's a lot of question marks on both sides of the ball as far as play calls throughout the game. But that one seemed to really, really kind of hurt your feelings, at the time. Alabama, this is the first time that they've gone on the road and been the less penalized team. 4 penalties for Alabama, 6 penalties for Georgia. That's super impressive on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And I just want to throw that in here. I know we're kind of talking about defense right now, but just as a team stat overall, super impressive. Let's mention, I got 2 players that I really wanted to talk about. One being in Bray Hubbard. The kid, since the Florida State game, has played lights out. He's been all over the field. He forces a fumble in the Georgia game. He's blowing up blockers. He's making plays in coverage. He's looked great. He led the Tide with 9 tackles in the game. I mean, you can't really ask for much more from him.
But just took some criticism to get him going. So
yeah, get him a little fire going, right? We'll talk about Damani Jackson, right? Number 1 cornerback, great, big frame, but he played on his heels a lot. There was a lot of times whenever Georgia got these big runs that you felt like Damani could have played a little bit more downhill. I don't know if that's a scheme-based thing that they were having him maybe sit back and try to make the running back make a move to help, more people come corral. But there was a lot of times where you saw the running back get to the outside and it just happened to be Damani Jackson he beat to the edge. So I think that's a problem in itself. What is there anything that you want to touch on, RJ? Anything that you could think of as far as what Georgia's offense maybe did good or Alabama's defense did good to keep Georgia from doing?
I mean, not really. I mean, Bama played a good game, man. I mean, there's nothing much to say about that. A dub's a dub. Don't matter how ugly it gets on defense for you. I mean, you still got the dub. That's all that matters. And Georgia, I mean, they played a good game. I mean, Bama I guess, played better than Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good game all around. So,
no doubt. I think you can't spot Bama 14 points if you're Georgia and expect to win the game.
Agreed. I mean, you spotted them at 28 last year.
Yeah, and it almost came back and won.
Yeah, they almost came back. They almost came back and won this game, but you can't do that.
What do you think the problem is for Georgia? This will be kind of our last segment here before we move on to maybe talking about the Auburn Texas A&M game, which will be coming up on the YouTube channel as well here later. And also, if you haven't checked us out on TikTok or Facebook, go ahead and check us out there as well at the RD Sports Podcast. But what do you think is Georgia's problem? Why they cannot beat Alabama? Is it a mental thing? What is it?
I felt like it's a mental thing. I mean, they just come apart when they play Bama. Like secondary got torched. Mike Bobo had some bad play calling. I mean, Georgia is just out of it when it comes to this Bama game. I don't know what's going on in that locker room when it comes to Bama. They need to fix it. So,
yeah, it's 9-1 over the last 10 for Bama. Pretty impressive. And you think Saban's gone? Oh no, we gotta. It's our time. Kirby's about to run the table. Saban's gone. We're good. Don't have to worry about Bama anymore. It ain't the same Crimson on the other side. And Deboer comes and hands you 2 L's.
Do I think Georgia got outcoached? No. Georgia got manhandled. So I feel like Georgia got manhandled then outcoached.
I think I disagree with you.
Okay.
I mean, what? How did they not?
I mean,
Can you
line of
explain?
scrimmage. I mean, y'all's winning the line of scrimmage the whole game. That's manhandled.
We didn't win the line of scrimmage the whole game. When we ran the ball, we didn't win the line of scrimmage, did we? Because we only averaged like 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, but still.
Did we? And did the offensive line block really great, or was Ty Simpson getting it out on time? Because there's a difference in that.
No, I feel like Bama blocked great. They gave him enough time to pick apart the secondary.
I mean, I agree. They blocked well, but I'm saying to say it's not a coach that I just don't see how you could say that Alabama did not that Kalen DeBoer did not out coach Kirby Smart in this game, especially in the first half.
I feel like Bama had more skill at sets than Georgia. That's what I feel like. I don't feel like Kalen DeBoer outcoached Kirby. I just feel like Bama just manhandled Georgia. Georgia looked soft on defense.
So, what makes this is kind of interesting to me because what makes you say that? Because the front seven they stuffed the run. So did they look soft, or they were just not getting pressure on the quarterback? And was it?
They can stuff the run. That's like Auburn. Auburn stuffs a run, but we let the quarterback get out of the pocket and stay in the pocket for 7 seconds, and the quarterback picks us apart.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think Ty Simpson was sitting in the pocket back there just with the picnic. There was a lot of times that he was getting hit as he threw, and there was a lot of times that he took 3 steps and hitched and threw. Like there's no pressure that gets to you in that unless it's through the A gap and nobody touches him. You get what I'm saying? Like everything was on time.
I don't feel like Kirby Smart got out coached. Ty Simpson definitely played a hell of a game. He's the one that picked apart the defense.
But who makes the play call for him to do that?
Ryan Grubb, but that's still not Kalen DeBoer and Kirby.
Kalen DeBoer is an offensive-minded coach. You think he has nothing to do with offense? Is it the fact that you don't think? Let me ask you this, right? Is it the fact that you don't think he got outcoached, or you just don't want to say Kalen DeBoer outcoached him?
No, I don't feel like Kirby Smart got outcoached.
But you haven't given me a reason yet.
I have gave you no reason.
Okay. Let's say this, right? You say that Bama played better, right? So how did they play together? How did they play better, right? Was it because they got coached better, or you think the players just magically said, "Hey, I'm gonna play better"?
No,
like, did the coach influence? Did the play?
No, Ty Simpson stepped up and was doing amazing at quarterback. That's the difference there.
I mean, I agree, but who calls the plays? Who, you know what I'm saying here? You're saying that Kirby Smart didn't get out coached, but everybody else.
Ryan Grubb calls the plays, but Ty Simpson was picking them apart. That's Shaw's offensive line and Ty Simpson that's making the plays, not calling the plays up.
I agree, but I agree that Ty Simpson played well.
Difference in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. I think Ty Simpson was a great player in this game. I think he was the best player on the field in this game, right? No doubt about that. But I also think that saying Kalen DeBoer got out-coached is crazy.
I didn't say out-coached.
But you're not saying he coached better than Kirby Smart. So
he didn't out-coach Kirby Smart, no.
So who out-coached who?
No one out-coached you. It's the players. It's the players, man.
You don't think this game was won from a scheme standpoint?
No. I do not. I'm sorry.
You don't think that Bama going up 14-0 and having 10 more minutes of possession time had anything to do with scheme?
I mean, Ryan Grubb outcoached Mike Bobo. Yeah.
Ryan Grubb's not the offensive coordinator. I mean, he's not the defensive coordinator. That would be that's a Kane Womack, Mike Bobo matchup.
No, but Ryan Grubb outcoached Mike Bobo on offense, though. Did he not?
He's not going to get. That's what I'm saying. That you can't. You can say that maybe he called better plays, but he didn't coach against
Well, he
Mike
called better
Bobo.
plays.
He
called a lot,
coached
he was a lot
against
better
Glenn
play caller
Schumann.
than Mike Bobo.
Okay, was it an execution standpoint, or was it just bad play call, or did Kane Womack coach a good or call a good game?
I mean, it was an execution standpoint from Georgia on offense.
I
And
think
it was play calling a little bit. I mean,
we're running circles, right? We're running circles, but I think you're saying that.
fourth and one, you put your third string running back in and running it outside. That is stupid, okay? And then you drop a touchdown pass for a touchdown.
Okay,
Late in the
Bama
game,
did.
you can't do that.
Yeah, Bama. I mean, Bama did the same thing on that regard, but I agree with you on the third down was a bad call.
Bama still scored. Georgia did not.
Okay,
That's the difference.
but that's not a coaching play call. I mean, that's not a coaching issue. That's an execution issue. But okay, the third down call was bad. Let's say that, right? So is that a coach? That's a coaching issue.
It was fourth down.
Fourth down, sorry. Fourth down was a bad call. That's a coaching issue, right?
Right.
So we're running in circles here, but you're saying that both coaches, which I agree, both coaches coached a good game, right? But I don't think that you can say Kalen DeBoer was not a better coach in this ball game.
I mean, no, not really.
I think you got something against Kalen DeBoer.
No.
That's my opinion on it. That is my opinion on it.
Okay, whatever, man.
I think you don't like Kalen DeBoer.
He didn't outcoach Kirby Smart. Georgia
You don't think Kalen DeBoer had this team ready to play?
Opportunities to win this game.
I mean, I agree.
And there was
a close game.
Problem.
It was a close game, but you don't think Kalen DeBoer had this team ready to play whenever they came in and went up 14-0? You don't think Kalen DeBoer had this team ready to play whenever they won the game 24-21 in Athens?
I mean, yeah, it's his job to have them ready to play.
Okay, and did he do that better than Kirby Smart? Because they won the game.
Half, yeah. What happened to the second half? Why didn't y'all score? Why didn't y'all score anymore in the second half?
They held on the ball. Did they not? They did a good job with ball management. They did a good job with subbing people in. They went 13 for 19 on third down. You don't think that had anything to do with Kalen DeBoer? You think that's all Ryan Grubb as the head coach?
I'm not saying Kalen DeBoer got outcoached, but he didn't outcoach Kirby. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what to say, man. I think both of the coaches coached a good game. I think Kalen DeBoer had the edge. I'm not saying it was by a milestone. I think Kirby Smart's a great coach. There's no doubt about that. I think he's one of the best coaches in college football. I think his halftime adjustments are the best in college football. Right beside Dan Lanning as well. And that's a coach that came from his coaching tree. But I think not giving Kalen DeBoer his credit is crazy.
I'm giving him his credit. He coached a good game, but he didn't outcoach. He didn't outcoach Kirby. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I think we can come to a middle ground here and say that we are both in the wrong. We probably don't know anything.
Ty Simpson stepped up. It was all Ty Simpson in this game, and the offensive line picking apart that defense. So, I mean, dude, say what you want, but Kirby did not get outcoached. But Kalen DeBoer did coach a good game and had his team ready for this game. So,
we'll agree on that. Anyways, Alabama takes on Vanderbilt this weekend in Tuscaloosa with College Game Day. Should be a good game. Diego Pavia coming in Tuscaloosa. He's already said he's excited about it. So we'll see how that goes. We'll give our preview on that later in the week. It'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel as well. Catch us on TikTok. We'll argue on TikTok as well. This has been the RD Podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.
We'll catch you next time.